Hello, everyone. Today I have the pleasure of introducing Savannah Grace. She is a transitional coach and author and the founder of Shine TV and the Blaze Accountability Group that was born from Shine TV. She has an inspirational story she will share that led her to being a coach. Now I introduce to you Savannah Grace. Hi, Savannah. How are you?
How you doing, gorgeous?
I am wonderful. You're looking so bright. It's nice to have you here.
Oh, it's such a blessing. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm excited because I love how you inspire people and love people to shine.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what it's
It's
about, building people up, lifting people up.
exactly.
Yes. So let's get started.
You
Who
bet.
who is Savannah Grace and how did you become, what led you to being a coach?
Oh, that's such a great question. So I think everybody kind of went through a stage after 2020 where we kind of almost went through a cocoon stage, is how I would say it. And when the world just could have stood still, there were two kinds of people that seemed to be born in that time period. Ones that were staying under the covers, and ones that were like getting out sabonically, and they were trying to refine themselves. Well, I was the second one. I was the one that I used that time to rediscover myself and find myself. And prior to that, I was an activity director and I was working with the elderly. And because of COVID and everything, kind of, I got displaced and everything, in that direction. And so it was in that time period that I ended up, my mom broke her leg. And so I ended up moving in with her. And so there was just a lot of dynamics that was happening with our family. And I don't know where to look at the camera. I think right there.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's good.
Right? Hi guys. So it was one of those things that it was a process for me, and it was like I was trying to like find where I fit next. And like I have a real heart for the elderly. That's kind of like I have these two big pieces. I have the elderly, the animals, and the children. And so each one of them is my special place of happiness. And so and I always say the elderly are our history and our animals are a happy place. And so the elderly was a really hard place for me because COVID was such a rough time for so many people. And I call them grandmas and grandpas. And so they were passing away. And in that time period, I ended up leaving, that environment because it was just too much. It was just heartbreaking, wrenching. As an activity director, your whole job is like I've done nursing and stuff, not nursing, but a nursing assistant stuff and working more of the pedicare and the things like that with the elderly. But at this season of my life, I was working on the what we call life enrichment. And so it was this beautiful concept of being able to really enrich their lives and to see their lives being literally torn apart. I could start crying, Miss Debbie. Oh boy, can I to see their lives being literally torn apart because of what was happening, and seeing family members that wouldn't show up, and it was a nightmare. It was too much for my human side to take, so I had to leave from that
Okay.
environment.
Okay.
So back to where I was now, I'm here with mom, taking care of her and stuff because she's older. And so it was in that time period, I'm like, I gotta reinvent myself. Gonna find all these pieces of me and I got to put them on a puzzle, and it's like this going to be this beautiful masterpiece, just like each one of us has that potential.
Right.
And I was going through the pieces and I was like, okay, I've done activities, I've worked with children, I've done this and and all of a sudden, like everybody knows, Dean and Tony pop up on our phones, on our computers, on our laptops, and they're just going out telling us all these wonderful things. And I'm like, my goodness, this is starting to kind of hit home. This is like calling. This is like a soul call to me. It's like a battle cry, something
Okay.
new for me to look into. And so that's when I started pursuing it. So it really got serious 2 years ago. And so that's the journey that I'm on. And it's funny that I call myself an identity coach because
Mhm.
I have gone through my own identity even as a coach. And so
Okay.
call myself a transformational coach is even more powerful because I feel like in the middle of me coaching others and building my coaching business and my course and my book and all the things that go with that and the masterminds and the groups, as because you're in one of them.
Yes.
transformed me too. And so it's a beautiful concept. I love it.
Okay, sounds wonderful. And I can tell that you have a really, really compassionate heart because you touched on three places that are very important and special to people: kids, animals, and the elderly. So I really, really, yes, you deserve a hand clap. Thank you for that. Okay, so now you talk about awakening royal birthright. What do you mean by that, and what is it?
Yeah. Oh, such a good point. Yeah, I wasn't clapping at myself. I want to clarify that. I was clapping at the three. They were my happy place. But yeah, exactly. The royal birthright is something that is, well, in some places they'll understand, other places they won't. There's a spiritual piece to this. And so I'm looking for like the soul tie that I see it as we are people in this world, but we are not of this world. And so it's a beautiful concept of where we all believe, and who we are as people. And I believe we have the light within us because there's a light outside of us. And so that light is what I believe that I bring out, and it shines forth. And for me, it's my Jesus. And
Okay.
so I'll say what it is. And so, like I said, I'm who I am, and I don't apologize. And sometimes that will turn off some people, and I get that. But
Mhm.
we got to be true to ourselves, and everybody else is true to themselves. And part of my own journey was finding who I was and who I wanted to be. And it doesn't mean that I'm judgmental about others, because I believe everybody needs to go on their own path. But if they can love on me, I can love on them. We can really coexist and have this beautiful, beautiful unity. And that's what I believe is necessary, especially in such a dark world, Debbie. The world has changed so much after COVID. And even though people are out of their homes, they're out of their covers, they're out of their their warm, cozy beds. There's still like this mass that's over people emotionally, and there's just so much of a closeness. And then with politics, you
Yeah.
know, a Republican or a Democrat. I personally am purple, and so I call myself independent. And so
Mhm.
I like that because that's where I stand, and I make my decisions. I don't listen to the news to make them for me. And
Okay.
so, I hear it from where I need to, and then I make my personal decision. And I think a lot of times there's so much division in politics, and there's so much division in this person and that person. And I can understand, because we have to like believe in something or we'll fall for everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Exactly.
that
Yes.
country song. That country
Yes.
song says it beautifully.
Yes.
But with that being said, once you know who your rock is and you have what you have to stand, your firm foundation, that's when you should go forward. And that's when you should have your stability.
That's
That way you're not weighing all over in this hurricane of a world, and all these different emotions.
Sure, right. And I truly understand what you're talking about. It's important, like, to know who you are, and like you said, like, attach yourself to something that's meaningful, and powerful, and that's bigger than you. That's important. So you talk about being a transitional coach. Now, I know you went through some transitions yourself. As a coach, what are you looking to do to help people overcome or to change? Like, as a transitional coach.
Love that question. Okay, so like a great example is I got you guys in the blaze right now.
Yes.
And you guys are the brave souls that really did it. It's like I got the shine. Shine is great, and people are coming in. I just started. I'm just a baby. I'm only like in Shine TV. I just launched it like a month ago. And so this is really, really exciting to get this going so people can see what Shine TV is about. You know, but the blaze is something that's very special. It is the opportunity for people to come in and to be held accountable and to get stretched and to get encouraged, to get loved on and celebrated. And how many places have you guys been in your life where you feel like, you're doing this all on your own, or you're not getting the support that you usually should get at from maybe home because either they're busy or they're tired, like my case. My mom, I'm taking good care of her, and she's supporting me where she can. But it's not like having people that are like like-minded set, like in the coaching industry. And so to wrap myself like a nice little blanket around people that like are all like encouraging each other. It's in this big opportunity for us to just like literally be like sparks to ignite the world and to have that fire. And
Right.
that's kind of where my heart's at, is like, I want us to get to a point that, yeah, we have our families, we have our support, we have our boyfriends, husbands, friends, all that stuff. But then at some point, we can't find what we need. We need to have that online community, which I call is a second family. And
Mhm.
they're the ones that are going to be like, hey, I'm actually a coach, so I can understand what this is, or I'm doing this. And then there's the camaraderie, because then there's a collaboration too.
Right.
And
Right.
I don't know. I'm really sold out on what coaching really is, Debbie. It's
Okay.
so much more than just getting a client and getting a paycheck. There's so much that goes into this. It's like, it literally is life changing. It is world changing when people really understand what is possible if they have a coach. And
Yes.
going to Shine TV is this big thing that I see as so much more than just a group. I see it as a movement. I see it as a place where people can really like let their light shine in this dark world, and
Yes.
to just express themselves in a way that they encourage others, celebrate each other, love on each other. There's the light is the key to the whole thing. I just want to see more light in this world.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So now in your name, you have shine, you have S period, H period, I. So do they mean something separate? I mean, individual words, or is it just how you
So
wrote it?
I don't know if I have it memorized. Yes, I know. And I did. And I did it on purpose. And now I'm looking for something. So, like, you're right on target. So let me just get a moment to remember
Okay.
that
Okay.
here. I just gotta like get my brain around it, because you're on target and I love it. Okay, so here we go. Ready, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, from all nations and tribes. So S stands for strong, H stands for healing, I stands for integrity, N stands for nurturing, and E stands for encouragement.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yes. I was wondering what it stood for.
Yeah.
So now that we're talking about Shine and you have Shine TV, I know you talked about it a little bit just now,
Yeah.
but what is your expectation for the people who join the group? What can they expect out of it? And what do you expect from them?
Well, the biggest thing is I want people to shine. I mean, like, a lot of times people are feeling like they're so lost in where they are as coaches or where they are as entertainers. I have friends that are actors in Hollywood. I'm turning my book wherever it is. Just one second. I'm going to do all this. I got this little teeny area. It's so funny. I'm turning my book. Where is it? My book. You can't see it.
Oh, it's blended in with the background.
There it is. My
Yeah,
book.
there you go. Yes.
My book into a movie at some point, which you and I have in common, which I
Yes.
think is so cool. There might be some
Yes.
collaboration in the future. And so, like, last year, I was learning how to script write. And so I was connecting with, my different people and stuff. But I also have friends from in the past that were in the Hollywood industry. So it's like all comes together. And then I created a course called Sunny Inspirations Audiobooks Unleashed on Mastermind.
Okay.
That is all about turning your book into an audiobook. And so all that goes together. And so one of the things that I found out that's so important is that people, when they're in the middle of being entertainers or coaches or entrepreneurs or business owners, or even speakers, they feel like they're like speaking to a place, an environment where nobody's hearing them, nobody's seeing what they have. They don't have the encouragement. And in Shine TV, not only is it going to be this really great place where there's going to be this light and love, it's also going to give you an opportunity to really grow. And
Okay.
so that's something I'm really excited about, is to do trainings and to do guides and do things like that, and to bring experts in. I already got this whole thing called Expert Corner, which I'm
Okay.
so people are going to come in and they're going to actually be teaching people, and really trying to put that vibe out. And because a lot of times people, they know that they need to do these things in this online community environment, but you feel so lost and alone. And to have Shine TV be a mic, stage, and audience
Mm-hmm.
is an environment where people can really truly shine, not just from the outside, but they're shining from the inside, and as they're growing.
Yeah, yeah. I believe in pouring into people too, because you're giving them that outlet, the
Yeah.
foundation and then the outlet. And you're pouring into them with the belief, because you pour in a lot of encouragement and motivation. So that's important to people to get them to the next level. I have a
Yes.
question for you. So with you doing all that for everybody else, who was doing the accountability for you? How do you get your motivation? How do you find your fire when
Love
nobody
it.
else is around?
I love it. You are on it. So that's where the spiritual stuff gets in there. Okay. I am a big worshiper. I love my singing. I get very intimate with my quiet time, my closet time with my Papa God. And that's what I call my Papa God, because what you guys will find out as I share more is that we all have different areas of trauma. And I've had some trauma in my life in different categories, and one of them is in the area of Papa and how to see Papa.
Okay.
And so each one of us grows in our different places. And to see God as my Papa God has been very healing for me. And so
Okay.
one of the areas that I get a lot of my strength and I get a lot of my peace is when I'm having my quiet time with my Papa God. But
Okay.
then of course another thing that I do is I have others that, encourage me and that uplift me. I don't believe that we should be living in a vacuum. I think we should not be I don't think we should be dependent, and I don't think we should be independent. I think we should
Right.
be interdependent. And
Mm-hmm.
interdependent is very key balance right there. It means that we have that independency, that we are our own people. That
Mm-hmm.
goes right into that whole thing about the broken daddy girl to the next level queen, that whole mindset about me teaching ladies, not to be princesses, but to be queens in their right, because
Mm-hmm.
my whole theme, as you know, it's all about royalty, and so the idea is that you're not having a man come to save you or a person come to save you, save yourself. But once you get to that point, then you need to know that you have that encouragement of others to stand by your side. They're not saving you, but you guys are like going up that mountain
Right.
together in
Okay.
arms,
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love that. So now you touched on broken daddy girl to next level queen. Tell us
Yeah.
about
Well, I'm going to share a little bit, but I don't want to go too deep because I
that. Okay.
you guys get to know more about my different courses and my groups.
Oh, okay.
But this is a shout out for any ladies that have been in a place in their life that they've had trauma, either from their birth fathers or their stepfathers or just the man in their life. I believe wholeheartedly that a woman, when she's with a man, she needs to speak to the king in the man. But sometimes the man is still acting like a prince, and especially when you're a child or when you're an adult or a young adult or whatever, and you have your father, it's hard to speak to the king in the man because you don't have that connection. But the thing is when a woman is broken, she starts going after princes looking for someone to save her, right?
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
that's the mindset of finding that you need to save yourself. And like there was this beautiful concept. I could start crying because it's so deep for me. It
Okay.
was this beautiful concept about when I was talking on, one of these Facebook lives I did or one of the videos, because
Okay.
on top of everything, I've been pushing myself when we talk about the transformation.
Yes.
2 years ago, it was so hard for me to actually get on camera. And it was Dean and Tony and the big course that I bought from them. They're like, we want you guys to be on live, for 30 days. And so I did their challenge for 30 days. And then I pushed myself, Debbie, and I took
Wow.
it over to mine. I did it for another 40, right?
Wow. Okay.
So with all that being said, I've gotten stronger and stronger on camera. And it was one of the times I was on camera and I was literally talking to myself and I didn't even know it. And
Okay.
so it's actually in my YouTube. So, you guys can look at that and I'll put the links and stuff if that's what you guys want. But one of the things I was talking about is I was talking about how you're a princess mindset. It's all about mindset. You're a princess mindset and you're up high on a castle and you expect someone to come and save you. I say, no, you need to save yourself. You need to take those blankets and you need to tear them up in the past and all this stuff. And wrap them up together in this nice, cord, from the trauma in your past. And you throw that down in the window, and you pull yourself out and you come out as a righteous warrior, queen.
I
And
love it.
Whoa, I mean, it's like between the eyes, and so sometimes those moments of our trauma makes us exactly who we are today, will make us exactly the person that will help others along the way.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. Yes. So we're coming to a close. First of
Good.
all, show your book again and tell people where they can buy it.
Okay. It's called The Runaway Man. It's really
Put it in the front of you. There you go. Put it in the front of you. Yes, there you go. Put it down in front of your shirt. Put it down a little bit.
Runaway Man, a journey back.
There you go.
Okay. It's The Runaway Man, a journey back to hope. And then my little slogan is because you can always come back home. That's the slogan. And it's a supernatural mystery crime thriller about a man who has his family's been murdered by a street gang. And now he's trying to find himself after that. So he goes out on the streets to find exploited children and runaways and bring them safely back to their families.
Okay. Sound like a lot of action in it.
Yeah. What I'm saying, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I got so much. It's like this spiritual serendipity between you and me that I just am loving.
So if people want to reach out to you, how can they reach you?
Okay, so Shine TV is definitely the way to go because I would love to get more people on there because, like I said, it's not a group, it's a movement. And then also Shine, the actual name Shine for Interview at gmail.com. And then, of course, my website, which is this huge, long website. And I try to push it down and I put it in the Bitly. But if you get me on my Facebook, which is Sunavana Grace, and it's spelled Sunavana and then Grace, I have all my links right up there in my profile. So that's real helpful too. And
you want people to know that you will be doing interviews eventually, right?
Oh, yes. And that's the other thing. Okay. So this is so funny. So I have this special goal that I want to do 100 interviews in 100 days, possibly even 200 interviews in 100 days. If I can do 200, if I can do 2 interviews a day, that's my ultimate goal. But for right now, I'm just doing 100 interviews in 100 days. For that to be said, we're at 47, Debbie. We need more people to come into Shine TV, because then we're going to do it, so that's what's going on. And I have a way that I'm doing it. So I'm keeping it really put together. So they come in, they introduce themselves, and then we get them on a profile pic. We put them on there because we want to get our Facebook banner up because I want to cover up our entire logo and just have all these beautiful faces just smiling and shining to the world because it's all about the light, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then from there, we're going to get them in, 1 to 3 sentences of who they're about, what they're about, what they want to share in the marketplace or even in their life, or passion project. And then, of course, a pre-interview so we can know what they're doing. So keep them successful. So then when I do my marketing campaign with them, they'll have it. And then we're going to launch and we're going to do, like I said, 100 interviews in 100 days, or in my personal favorite place will be the ultimate goal is 200 interviews in 100 days.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to look in the camera and talk to the people and tell them why they should join your group.
Well, you guys, Shine TV is more than a group. It's a movement. And when you're looking at the world in a place that seems so dark and so lost, and there's so much hurting, and there's so much pain, and there's so much, trauma in people's lives, either in their past or even in their future. I mean, you can even think about the hurricane. I mean, what a perfect place to be where you can be just loved on, encouraged, where people can just shine and just bring out the love, especially now.
Okay. Now, we're at the end, but I just wanted to know, do you have any encouraging words or anything else to say? We have 5 minutes left, so I know you can do that in less than 5 minutes. So just say what you want to say Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the biggest thing I want to say is never dim your glow. You know, it's so important that I call it queen guard your crown, king guard your crown. It's the idea that you guard your heart, you know, and you come to a point in your life where you let your light shine. And so it sounds like an oxymoron, but guarding your heart is being wise around darkness, but then also letting your light shine. And when you let your light shine, it will overcome the darkness. You know, we have this love and light that's in us, and it needs to be expressed out. And everybody's trying to hold our mouths and gag us, you know, even with the mask concept, you know, people are walking around with masks. We need to take our mask off. We need to let everybody see who we are. We are light in a dark world, and it's time for us to shine.
Thank you, Savannah. And I just want to thank you for being a light for so many other people who may not always see light, who may not always experience the light. And you have such a glow. And I want you to know you are a superstar. Shine bright.
Oh, I love you. I love you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.